Hey guys, how's it going? So today I want to share with you my vegan story. This is a video that I meant to put out much sooner, but sorry it's late. Here you go. I don't really want to call this like my vegan transformation story because first of all, I think it encompasses a lot more than just like my physical appearance. But also because with my new vegan fitness series, I feel like that transformation will kind of happen over there. So this is the story about how I found a plant-based diet and a vegan lifestyle. So I grew up on a farm just outside of Leith, or about 20 kilometers outside of Owen Sound, Ontario. I grew up with my family there. We weren't farmers, but we had a lot of land, so we rented out the land to people in the area who needed it to graze their animals. Depending on the time of year and what was going on, we would have cows, chickens, pheasants, pigs, lambs, turkeys, everything. Pretty much you name it, we had lots of animals running around our property, which was really fun for me as a kid growing up because I got to, get to know them from a very young age and raise them and be up close one-on-one with them all the time. Looking back on it, it makes sense that I became a vegan because I formed these strong connections with baby animals from when I was a child. It just makes sense that those bonds kind of carried on to when I was able to make food decisions for myself. I didn't want to have those same animals on my dinner plate. In the winter months especially, if, for example, if all the ewes were giving birth and there was like twins or triplets, lambs being born, and it was really cold, we would bring the lambs into our house to warm up on the vents. We got to know these animals very well. They had so many names. I can remember them, almost all of them. Runt and Rudy, the twins, Snowflake. There was even 3 piglets that we had named Pork Chop, Ham, and Bacon. And at the time I don't know, thought it was cute or something, or it was a way to make it funny for us that they would later be turned into food. But they were the most adorable animals I've ever met in my life, and it really breaks my heart that I wasn't there for them in the end. The disconnect was so real that we became so close with these animals. We would even bring them to our church ceremonies. There was this one time when we brought Snowflake the lamb to church on Easter, and it was in the newspaper. My sister posed with her in the newspaper. It was a really big thing. The kids loved her. She came out to Sunday school. She was so sweet. It was like a really, really gentle dog. And a couple months later, she was killed for meat. So since I'd formed those connections early on, I think it made sense that it was in grade 7 when I was sitting at the lunch table with a bunch of friends, and one of my friends, I don't even remember what the topic of conversation was, but one of them turned to me and said, "I bet you can't go a month without eating your bologna and cheese sandwich." And then it was upped to, I bet you can't go a month without eating meat. And I'm never really one to turn down a challenge, so I took it on gladly. And from that moment on, I started looking at all of the ingredients in my food, and I even looked on the juice box that I had with me that day and was like, is there meat in this? Can I eat this? I don't even know. Like, I had no idea what was in my food up until that point. So that day I went home and told my parents I'm a vegetarian, and immediately my mom went and took me to the library and to the bookstore and set me up with a whole bunch of information so I knew what I was doing so she could feel okay about it. And I enjoyed it. For 30 days, it was really easy. I lost a little bit of weight. I felt better. I kind of liked, feeling good about myself for doing this thing, for not hurting the animals. And so I just decided to keep at it. I never actually collected the $10 bet that she gave me. So with interest, I should be owed a lot of money. But unfortunately for me, I actually didn't do vegetarianism right. I didn't do a plant-based diet correctly. Instead of eating more vegetables, I basically just added on more dairy products and more egg products instead of the meat. So I became, all my meals were centered around cheese. So obviously I gained a lot of weight. I was pretty skinny in high school. There's some old photos of me where I'm pretty average built. But in college, I put on about 45 pounds. purely because I was just overdosing on cheese and eggs and really not watching what I ate at all. If it was fried food, if it was fast food, I ate it. And it is so easy, believe me, it is so easy to be a vegetarian and to eat unhealthy food. As you can guess, in college I was pretty unhappy that I was overweight. I didn't feel very attractive. I didn't feel like doing anything. I felt like there was literally no passion in my life for anything. It wasn't until I started educating myself, basically just by looking online, checking out documentaries, YouTube channels. On the one side, I was looking for health information, which actually turned me to the raw food movement. So I found people like Freely the Banana Girl, and I just got really into the idea of eating fruit-centered meals. I started cutting out the dairy and egg products. I played around and experimented with raw food a lot. I was only ever exclusively raw for a very short period of time, and I was under-eating for sure, like just over 1,000 calories to 1,500 calories maybe a day. And I wasn't tracking it very well at the time either. But that all stemmed from a health standpoint. I was more interested in that for weight loss and for my own benefit. It wasn't until I really started watching the documentaries about the animals and the ethical side of it. In fact, it was watching Earthlings that finally made me make the connection, realize I'm not cutting these things out for my benefit. I'm cutting them out because it's the right thing to do and because I don't want to cause this harm to my friends anymore. It took me about like 6 tries before I finally got through the entire documentary of Earthlings. And if you're not vegan, I definitely recommend you do watch it. It is painful, but it's the truth, and it's something that if you're going to eat those products, you need to be aware of. So after I watched Earthlings, I just immediately cut out the dairy and I immediately cut out the eggs, and it never really became an issue from then on. I had made the decision and I had a good solid foundation for why. The health was kind of like the bonus side to it that I was interested in, but not really the main reason for me to change everything about my lifestyle. I'm an animal lover, and I couldn't sleep at night knowing that my cheese pizza love was harming someone that I grew up with, that the demand for my pleasure was causing someone to lose a life and to lose a family. It didn't sit with me, and it never will. The great thing is, once I did that, once I cut out all of the animal products and went 100% vegan, my weight struggle became so easy. All of that weight that I had gained in my college years kind of just started falling away, and I had struggled losing weight, and it was kind of like a bumpy downward, sort of losing it a little bit at a time. It would go up and it would go down. But once I went vegan, it went right down. The more I focused on whole plant foods in their real natural state, the easier it was for me to eat a lot of filling foods that were really, really tasty. I had fun experimenting in the kitchen. I felt better about what I was doing for the animals and the environment, and I was getting healthier, happier, and skinnier the whole time. It was a win-win-win-win-win. So my real reasons for going vegan kind of changed as my awareness about the movement grew. And it's still growing. I'm still just kind of like, I feel like I'm just getting to the tip of the iceberg when it comes to my activism and what I can do. Not just like in my own personal daily habits, but the effect that I can have on other people as well. I love what a plant-based diet does for my body and for my mind, but I love what a vegan lifestyle does for the world. And so that's what I promote. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear about your vegan story and what made you turn vegan or vegetarian, or what gets you interested in a plant-based diet and vegan lifestyle. Leave your comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye.